What's going on, Jerome? So 53-man roster cuts and waves have happened, and teams recently released a lot of very, very talented players. And yes, they didn't make the 53-man roster, but a lot of things could be at play. Age, contract, stability at a position, a whole lot of things going on. So there is talent to be had, and could they improve the Vikings' current 53-man roster? Could they improve the Vikings practice squad? A lot of things going on. There's some very interesting names. Now, we've already done 2 videos where we outlined some of the early cuts. So, like James Robinson is a must-have. Zach McLeod, well, bring him back, man. That's right. Yannick Conjust, Alex Leatherwood, Mama, I Can Change Him, Desmond King, Jack Anderson, I love a lot. Michael Dunn makes a ton of sense given his experience with Kwesi in Cleveland. But now we have 11, I won't say it, more 53-man roster cuts that the Vikings need to be in on. Now, if they put in a waiver claim, that means the Vikings have to put the player on the 53-man roster. But if they pass through waivers or are a free agent, could be a lot of options. It could add him to the 53, could add him to the practice squad. And there's a lot of things to go there. First up, number 1, Travis Gibson, all in. I understand that the Vikings are deep at edge rusher right now, but you can never have enough dudes who can get after the quarterback and get their own rush. Plus, he was unhappy in Chicago. Reportedly, his agent had requested permission to seek a trade a couple weeks ago. And Gibson, the pride of Tulsa King, he's a true blue stand-up outside linebacker, and that's where he needs to be. And the Bears over the last 2 years have transitioned to a 4-3 under Matt Eberflus, the IKEA toilet. So Gibson, he needs to get back into a 3-4. Luckily, the Vikings, hello. He's only 26, 6'4", 264, 2020 fifth rounder. 2021, the last season, the Bears were in a 3-4, 27 pressures, 7 sacks, and 87.0 PFF pass rushing grade, which is good. It's pretty damn decent. Again, also getting some intel on what the Bears are doing defensively and as a team writ large does make a ton of sense. Next up, player number 2, Darius Rush of the Colts. Now, this one is a bit of a shocker because he played really well in preseason, had a pick 6 against the Bills, but Darius Rush was a 5th-round pick. Now, he went later than a lot of people expected. He was seen as, a fringe day 2 guy, but he's 6'2", he's a $198, ran a 4.3 640, absolute physical freak. Now, he's raw. He is a converted wide receiver. He's only played corner for 2 years, but certainly the potential is there, and the Vikings currently only have 5 corners on the roster, including Najee Thompson, who's really more of a special teamer. So could it be a spot where they take a flyer on Darius Rush and put in a waiver claim? I would love to see it. Next up, number 3. Speaking of corners, so Duke Shelley. And I know people are going to poo-poo, well, Duke Shelley couldn't make the Raiders, but here's the thing. So he played extremely well last year on a very poopy Vikings defense. 86.4 PFF grade, 11 passes broken up, 1 interception, a 59.6 quarterback rating when thrown out, which is pretty damn good. And yes, the Vikings didn't re-sign him this offseason. Yes, the Vikings did have interest, but Duke took a slightly above veteran minimum deal with the Raiders, and it didn't quite pan out, but I don't know, like Duke's feistiness, his press man ability. No, he's not the long, lengthy cornerback that Flores seems to enjoy, but I mean, Duke's a fighter, man. I think that Flores would really love Duke if you got to know him. Next up, number 4, Nathaniel Moody, sticking with the Raiders. So if the name sounds familiar, it's because he was a draft darling back in the day in 2020. Now, he was seen as potentially like a day 2 guy coming out of Fresno State, a power guard at 6'3", 307, bit of a nasty streak to him, but health issues did cause him to drop to the 6th round. He was in Denver for 3 seasons, and he is only 24 years young right now. He's played both guard spots, and plus the Denver connection with Chris Cooper, the Vikings' current offensive line coach, Justin Riscotti, the assistant O-line coach, as well as Curtis Modkins, the run game coordinator. All 3 of them were in Denver during their time with Nathaniel Moody, so they would have some insight on the guard, where again, I just want to build a bully in the trenches, man, and Nathaniel Moody was one of my draft crushes from 2020 that I loved a lot, man. Next up, number 5, offensive lineman Ike Boediger from the Buffalo Bills. So 2-year starter for Buffalo at left guard, 28 years young, a former Hawkeye. Certainly would add some quality depth along the offensive line, can play guard and tackle. Next up, number 6, Bailey Zappy. So This one was a bit of a surprise because the Patriots cut every single quarterback on the roster not named Mac Jones, and since all of them are on the rookie deals or less than 4 years of experience, they're exposed to waivers. So Bailey Zappy, who played well last year as a rookie in 2022, came in as a 4th-round pick out of Western Kentucky. He completed 71% of his passes, 781 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, 100.9 quarterback rating, and also the Patriots won both games that he started, and the fact that the Patriots didn't win many games last year, kind of noteworthy. So I think this was foolhardy by the Patriots. I think that he is going to get claimed like that. And hell, I don't care that Jaren Hall is on the 53. I mean, roll with 4 quarterbacks for now, or cut Nick Mullins, put him on the practice squad. No one's going to claim him, or no one's going to sign him. Put him on the practice squad once 53s are officially set, and then put him on the practice squad, and then have him be a game day elevation. Or hell, he doesn't count because of the new 3 quarterback rule. Just have him be on the practice squad and just have him be active on game days, or whatever. Next up, number 7 player the Vikings should be in on. Offensive guard Jackson Kirkland coming out of Cincinnati. Now, yes, funny, Kirkland, because he played at Washington, Costco, baby. But 2023 UDFA, 6'7", 328. He worked at both guard spots as well as right tackle for the Bengals in preseason. His forte is pass protection. Now, he was seen as like a mid-round pick, but fell due to health concerns. But it's a dart throw. It's a whole mama I can change him situation. And the Vikings certainly need to add some size along the offensive line. Next up, number 8. Offensive guard, again, adding size. Darian Canard coming out of Kansas City, 6'2", 322, was a 2022 5th-round pick by Kentucky. Played right guard all preseason with Kansas City. Does add some size and some power potentially. I mean, if you had Kirkland and Canard to the practice squad, I would actually be kind of happy. Like, absent signing Reisner, absent signing Jason Peters, just doing the damn thing, just getting some young guys with potential and size and power on the inside makes sense. Next up, player number 9. Linebacker Jabriel Cox coming out of the Cowboys, where, yes, 2021 4th-round pick, formerly at NDSU for a number of fantastic seasons, and a 1 year at LSU, so he checks both those boxes. NDSU Bison as well as Skull SU. Played well in preseason over his 3 years with the Cowboys, but only took 46 regular season snaps on defense. So would he be an improvement over Troy Dye on the 53? Yes. Yes, I think that he would right now. Next up, player number 10, the Vikings should be in on. DeAnthony Jones from the Bears. Now, Aaron Wilson, Houston beat writer, he reported that the Vikings would have interest with DeAnthony Jones, which is interesting because it's kind of out of nowhere, and Wilson usually doesn't editorialize like that, but he's a 2023 UDFA out of Houston. He did put up a number of sacks during his final 2 years with the Cougars. Then also he had 8 pressures in preseason, so it's interesting. I mean, do the Vikings double dip, pick up Gibson and DeAnthony Jones? Does Kwesi pull another waiver claim trick on the Bears, like he did with Kyrus Tonga and Duke Shelley last year? Would like to see it. Lastly, player number 11. Eric Rowe. So this is more sentimental. Eric Rowe is 30. He's not a guy that you're bringing on for the potential for the future, but just in terms of a rock solid dude who's versatile and a good guy in the locker room, yes, Eric Rowe. Plus he's had 6 years with Brian Flores, 3 in New England, 3 in Miami, and can play a number of spots and would be a solid dude to add on the practice squad. I don't think that his demand is going to be that high. So coming here and joining up with Flores and just being a stalwart on this defense that he knows would make a ton of sense there. But that's it. That's at 11. Don't say more 53-man roster cuts that the Vikings need to be in on. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.